This should be an interesting one. We got a bus coming in. He's headed to several shops trying to figure out why it's losing power. They haven't been able to figure it out, so he's going to bring it in here, and you let him hear this. You hear him tell the story all about it here. We're going to look at a couple of things, but you can give some input on this because we're going to take it for the test drive diagnostic run tomorrow because he got here at the end of the day today. So watch the video, and then at the end, if you have any questions or you think have an idea of what maybe we should look at tomorrow, feel free to leave it in the comments. Yeah, the whole thing. So tell us. So you start up cold in the morning, and you can go about 40 miles, maybe.
Yeah, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Start up it, and it runs fine.
And then it just falls on its face.
Yes, you can watch the exhaust temps just start dropping, but it'll still make boost, but not as much. It'll make like when it starts dropping, the exhaust temps start going down, and then the boost, it'll still make like 10 pounds of boost.
Okay.
And you'll see a little bit of black smoke out when it's doing that out of the tailpipe, but it's weird. I don't know. No codes.
And then you pull over. You shut it down. 5 minutes.
Yeah, you got to shut it down for 5 minutes, and then you start it back up, and
then you can go for 15 minutes.
Yeah. And
then it loses power again.
Yep.
Pull off, shut it down, 5 minutes. And how many times did you pull off on your way here, do you think? And
so I've been driving since yesterday at 5 o'clock. I don't know. I have no idea.
But literally, it was 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes out of what's supposed to be a 9-hour drive that turned into a day and a half of driving.
I'm not laughing at
20, you. 24. What time is it?
It's after 6:30.
Yeah, so it was more than 24 hours of driving with a couple of little naps in there. But yeah.
Okay. So no DDEC codes are popping up. No. The check engine light, you said, flashed on a couple times for like 1 second or 2 seconds, but that might be coolant being low or something like that, or something else. We'll check for codes tomorrow. Yeah. And we'll put. Have you driven it with a ProLink on there? Okay, and nothing comes up. Nothing regular.
Nothing crazy. I wasn't reading it. My mechanic buddy was reading it, but
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was fuel filters the whole time. So when it started happening, I was putting fuel filters every time instead of just turning the key off and on.
I
was changing the fuel filters on the side of the road.
And then you were good to go.
And it was just a timing thing that it just took me 20 minutes to change the filters, and I was good to go again. But, yeah, that was... This has been a saga, man. This is...
Okay, so yeah, we just ran it and checked the fuel pressure. It's pretty good over here. The negative gauge, this, I don't even know if the thing works right. That's just for looks. Yeah, I don't know if that's working. Okay. Well, we're gonna take it for it's the end of the day here. We're not gonna take it at nighttime here. Otherwise, you're normally getting about 20 pounds of boost.
Yeah, it'll I mean it'll hit 22 depending on RPM.
Oh wow. And it's a DDEC 2. That's on there. Yeah, really, it sounds like a fuel problem.
It's like something's telling it to stop fueling or something, but it's going around the computer. I don't know.
Yeah, there's only so many things. I mean, fuel pressure would be one of them. And have you ever checked the fuel pressure when it's doing that?
Yeah,
like before you shut it down?
Yeah. Because in the summer when it's hot, it actually does it faster. It could be coincidence, but like in the summer, if it's real hot, you can leave it out there running in the parking lot for 30 minutes and go to move it, and it won't move. And then the fuel pressure is good.
I wonder if you're boiling your fuel out of this line right here. It's right up against your.
Maybe with that raycor thing right there.
I mean, this is
That's
touching your manifold there.
But yeah. That's why I have this little crappy stuff to try. But
we may move that somewhere else just because it doesn't belong there. I've never seen it mounted there, ever. But yeah, that's running. Hilarious. That's in a very hot spot right there.
Yeah.
Because 5 minutes to shut down isn't enough for something in the engine to really cool off. I mean, that thing, if you took a temperature reading of the block and 5 minutes later took it, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 degrees cooler. I mean, it's not cooling a massive amount. But if the fuel in that line was boiling,
like the line gets super hot, maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, but right. That's not a very good spot to have that fuel line running right there. I shot the temperature of this to see how warm this was, and it wasn't crazy hot though. Well, we'll take it for a test drive. We'll see what it does. Maybe somebody's got some good ideas for things to look at tomorrow when we do that. I mean, I've never heard of diesel boiling like a gas where you get vapor lock, but I don't know what that would do. There's no kind of fuel leak, and we can. Have you looked down in your tank at all? Do you think there's anything crap in your tank?
So that was my first thing that, like, when I was chasing the fuel filter issues, I had the fuel polished like 3 times. I had the tank. They didn't take it out and clean it. They just flushed it a few times, like, and it didn't do any good. Then I had to put a fuel pump on it because I thought that was an issue. I've done a lot of things that didn't make sense because I was chasing the wrong thing.
Was this filter getting really dirty though? Was it when you were taking? Because that one you can see when you take it out. Was it?
Well, it had stuff in it, but I don't know how really dirty is. So like, no, I was changing filters every 20 minutes on the side of the road, and they weren't dirty.
Yeah, and since you've had it polished a couple times, I mean, they kind of self-polish themselves, but if you get that layer of crap in there, and wow, this will be interesting. This will be really interesting to see. DDEC definitely.
I tried at one point I had that wrapped all over that computer too, thinking that might help.
It made no difference.
No difference. I did have that computer I sent it out to be redone, thinking that was
that was cheap. Well,
and then
you turned the parts cannon into a machine gun.
And this whole thing. So when I bought this, everything ran fine. I took it to a shop down in Raleigh where I live, and there was a little power steering leak, and it's usually just a little O-ring on them that goes bad. Well, these guys gutted the whole side of this thing, charged me like $4,000 to put this power steering pump in, and I had to buy the pump. And then I took it home, and it never ran right again.
Huh.
So I don't know if it's just coincidence. I have no idea.
Well, we'll have to see what runs over there and what goes around what, and Is there a fuel shutoff selector too for the? Is this unlocked?
Yeah, it's unlocked. I rigged up a thing to try and manually raise fuel pressure.
Yeah, it looks like a gas valve there. Is that it? Is that what that is?
One on the return line.
It's like a red thing
that's
there.
What I put
Okay.
that on there trying to see when I was looking at the wrong gauge.
Yeah.
Told me that was the fuel pressure.
We didn't have that on video yet, but yeah. The one shop told him that this was his fuel pressure gauge. So he was like, man, I got good fuel pressure. That's his oil pressure gauge. Yeah. So he was looking at that for a while thinking he had good fuel pressure. But it turns out he did have good fuel pressure. Okay. Well, we will... we'll see what happens on our test drive tomorrow. We got some nice roads that we can go on where we can pull off if there's a Highway 50 going towards Interstate 40. There's like a safety lane the whole way where you can pull over and
that's key. in Nashville traffic at like 5 o'clock traffic, it died in the middle of the road. I'm sure I got all the middle fingers that were around.
You'll be on the news. Nice job. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, that's where we're at. We'll take it for a test drive tomorrow, but maybe somebody's got some good ideas for us to look for, but I think fuel lines is probably a good place to start. But we'll take it for the test drive and get it to replicate itself. And then, if you try it just 2 minutes after you shut it down, it usually still doesn't have power.
Yeah, it's iffy. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But most of the time, you gotta wait like 5 minutes.
That's so weird. So, okay.
If you turn it on too quick, it'll be a little bit better sometimes. But you can watch the pyro gauge will only go up to maybe 500 degrees.
Yeah.
Where, full on, it usually 900 or so when you're...
Yeah, what I'd like to do on the test drive is tomorrow have you, when it limps like that, have you pull over, put it in neutral, and then rev the engine up to the governor. I'll come back here and check that fuel pressure gauge while it's still in the shutdown condition and see what that gauge is reading with it revved up like that. Because if that's not reading 75, 80 PSI, then something's wrong in the fuel system itself.
Okay.
I don't think it's a DDEC problem. And the fact that you sent the DDEC out, I really don't. Especially because you said you've had people hook up a ProLink to it. It's not flashing any codes. But starving it from fuel would make your boost drop down because this is not going to have the boost because it doesn't have the power behind it. Right. That is that exact situation from fuel starvation. But it sounds like you've been doing all the right things, but just there's something that's being overlooked that's we should be able to find. How'd you like coming up the hill?
That was great. That was really, I can't believe how steep that thing is in real life. In the videos, it doesn't look like that at all. That's crazy.
Got it. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not black. It's dirty, but it's not. And the fuel is right there. It's pretty close. Yeah, he's not been changing this gasket on here. That could cause that to suck air. There's a lot of dirt and gook on that O-ring. Could have been just aerating the fuel a little bit, and you can't get the horsepower with the air in the fuel. Well, he's changed that filter a bunch of times, but never changed those O-rings on there. That could have been an issue causing it to suck in air that is on the suction side. So it could be aerating the fuel. We're going to take it for a test drive tomorrow in the morning. If you have any ideas, feel free to share them. I mean, that could be the issue with that fuel, but I doubt it. But it's definitely something in the fuel system for sure. It's not a DDEC problem. It's not an engine problem. Something's going on there. But tomorrow, if we get it on the test run to fail, I'm going to have him pull over and then put it in neutral, rev the engine up to the governor, keeping it in that situation. I'm going to go check the fuel pressure while it's revving very, very high in that situation where it's losing power, and see if there's a difference in the fuel pressure. Yeah, he's done a lot of things to it, and we'll see what we can do. If you got any ideas for things, suggestions, feel free to add them in the comments, and I'll read those before we go on the test run tomorrow.
See that white smoke rising up the holler through the trees, and from a mile away you can hear them play as they climb that hill with ease. But at the top of that mountain there's a new life waiting for those who can make the run. If they can make it to the top, God will put them in the shop till their new life has begun. Mountain, where the buses come to run. Bus Grease Mountain, we're gonna get that big job done.